Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics, and today we're going to be doing a full fish room tour. That's right, 56 tanks in about 13 minutes. After that, if you're interested, the boys are going to show off their reptile zone, so stay tuned. So I figured before we jump into it, I would give you a quick overview. This is what the fish room looks like as you're walking down the stairs into the basement. We've got 24 tanks, I believe, on this side, and we've got a nice big place to sit down for everybody just to kind of enjoy the fish, and we use that area quite frequently. Again, it's just nice and relaxing. So as we come down the stairs, we'll go ahead and go to the left, and we've got the other side of the fish room. There is another 26 tanks, I believe, on this side. We got a couple here. And then as we go around, we've got the rest of the tanks, and I'm going to show you those real quick. And as we go through the fish room tour, we'll get into each one of these tanks when we'll talk a little bit more about what's in each one. And we're going to go through it quick. We're going to cover all these tanks, like I said, in about 15 minutes, so stay tuned. So now we're going to be getting into the 20 longs on that right-hand side of the fish room. Here we've got some Peacock Gudgeons. These are great fish. We've bred quite a number of them. They've got really awesome color. They stay relatively small. We've got a species profile I'll put on the upper right-hand corner. But we've had these fish for a long time and love them. As we come around right next door, we've got the Nannacara anomala. These fish are just now starting to get to the size where they're going to be breeding for us. Again, really like the color. We just recently redid this tank, believe it or not, and the jungle valve's finally starting to grow in. Down below, we've got the super red bristlenose Plecos. Tons and tons of babies in this tank, probably 60 to 80 babies. We're happy to have them breeding. There's some cherry shrimp in here as well. And then right next door, we've got the standard bristlenose. We've kind of adjusted this tank a little bit. Took out a lot of the adults. We weren't getting as much breeding behavior in this tank, so we thinned out the herd a little bit. Hopefully they'll get going for us again. And then we've got the 40s along the back wall. These are the electric blue Acaras. There's 7 or 8 of them in this tank, and so far they've been getting along really, really well. The root system that you see back there, that's actually pothos plants that are growing above the tanks, but they do a good job of sucking out nitrates. But that tank is certainly one of our favorites. This is another one of our favorites, the Cyprichromis leptosoma. This is the 40 right next door. Started with a group of 7, and now we've got a lot more. They're breeding for us. We just got another batch of about 4 or 5 babies, little tiny ones that are in there somewhere. Next to them, we've got the Pseudotropheus saulosi. This is a breeding group of 4 males and 2 females. We're just now starting to see the females hold from time to time. We're going to have to eventually catch them and maybe put when they're holding and put them in their own tank, but they are looking very good. And then we go to the 40s above. This tank needs a little bit of work. The green hair algae's gotten a little out of hand. We've got some calvus in here. We've got shell dweller. You see them in the shell right there. Neolamprologus meleagris. And then right next to that, we've got the star sapphire cichlids. These fish are finally starting to get to the point where the little white dots that you see in that large one, they're going to be, the males at least are going to be that way all throughout their body. We've got 4 males, 2 females in there, and they are really starting to look pretty nice. This tank is a little cloudy because we had a couple batches of bristlenose Plecos in the last few months, and so there's probably 60 or 70 at least in there, but we got the Metroclima grishakii, really cool fish. And then here is our multi-tank. This is a 50-gallon lowboy, and again, we started with about 10, and we've pulled out at least a few dozen, if not more, multis from here to bring to local clubs and stuff and to sell. But these fish have been going crazy for us ever since we got them. This is one of our favorite tanks to look at. There's just so much going on when you really look at the tank. The little breeding pockets everywhere. There's at least 3 or 4 batches of babies in here in various parts of the tank, so it's a lot of fun to see. This tank here, we've got some L10A lizard tail Plecos, some Heteroandria formosa. We've got some pygmy catfish in here as well. They're really small, so it's kind of hard to see sometimes, but it's a cool little setup. And right next door, we've got the guppy breeding tank. Lots and lots of guppies in here. This is a great tank for us, and I really like the males. They've almost got like an Endler color body. Super cool. We've got a guppy breeding video. I'll put that in the upper right-hand corner as well. This is a 20 that's underneath the lowboy, Labidochromis transcriptus. These are really cool and liking them a lot. And then right next door, we've got the recently redone white lab tank, and there's a rusty cichlid in there. We did pull one of the females out and put her in a 10-gallon because she was holding eggs. We got another one in there now that we need to pull as well because she's holding. Right across the way, we've got a couple 75s. This is the Red Empress and Dragon Blood tank. We get some really cool mixes from these fish. We also get a lot of purebred Red Empress from this tank. The main male is not really showing himself, and then right above that we've got the Zebra Cichlid tank. We get lots of breeding activity right now in this tank. The red zebra's holding. We got a female Kenai right there in the back. She's holding, and I believe there might have been an acei holding as well, so we'll be pulling those females out pretty soon, but that's a fun one. Then we got the 125, the Oscar here. Chaz, he kind of hurt himself. He was jumping around, so he's got that mark on him, but this is the Nile Tilapia. We've got the Geophagus steindachneri here. Very odd mix of fish, I know. It started out as just an Oscar tank, but then we started to add various fish in there. There's an OB for all kinds of different reasons, and it's strange, but it's working out pretty darn well. The fish are getting along, and we'll leave them that way as long as they get along, and then if something happens where they're not getting along, we'll move them. Again, there's the big Nile Tilapia. You see the smaller fish there? They leave them alone. Here we've got a whole bunch of red Empress fry in a 10 gallons. We've got a few 10 gallons set up on this side of the room. And then right below that, we've got some dragon blood slash red Empress mixes that gives us some really cool OBs when they get older, like we just saw in the 125. And then this is the tank that we're really excited about. This is Geophagus winemilleri. These fish are going to be amazing when they get older, so we can't wait to set up a larger tank for them. And then we got the bow front here with some red Zebra Cichlids that came out of the 75. This is some fry. These things are awesome because they get this color, they stay this color right from the start. And then right below that, we've got some species 35 tomato haps. They're just starting to come into their own, hoping that we will see some breeding behavior from them, hoping to see a lot of really awesome color, and we'll bring it back to this tank when they do that. Now we're on the other side of the fish room, and we got the red devils. Love the red devils. Here we got 4 of them, and right now they're in a 40. Yes, they're going to need a larger tank. Right now they're getting along. Is that going to happen long term? Probably not, but it's working out okay so far. Right above them, we've got the Cihicas. This is a great tank. Right underneath that rock, you can see a female coming out. There has definitely been some breeding behavior going on that side of the tank, so we're hoping to get some fry in the relatively near future, but I like this tank. I like it a lot. It's fun to look at. It's fun to watch. The Cihicas are great fish, not overly aggressive. They're going to get a little bit bigger, but not crazy large. So just a fun tank, relaxing tank to kind of view. And then we've got the 33 longs. This is the Thrychtes maculopinnis. They're kind of like firemouths, not quite as aggressive. We actually had a batch of fry in here and they got eaten, so we're going to have to do a better job of getting those out of there. Right above that, we've got the Neolamprologus calypterus and the Lelupi tank. I had to feed the tank just to get them out. I know it doesn't really look great on video, but these are still some pretty shy fish, even though we've got that molly in there that is kind of like a dither fish. And then right above that, we've got the Geophagus brasiliensis. Love these fish. Look at the colors. And they are still relatively small, just a couple inches, and you get these really, really vibrant colors. Absolutely love these fish. And then we got a whole group of 10s, Rhinogobrius henchuensis. These are really cool gobies. Hoping to get some breeding behavior out of them at some point in the future. Right now, like I said, they're in a 10, but they're super cool. Here we've got some brown darters. They're super hard to pick up on camera. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. We've got some Eureka Reds growing up. I'll show you the adults in a minute. Here we've got more Dragon Blood OB mixes that didn't feel like being on camera. Not sure why. And then we've got a tank here with some Pygmy Sunfish that are very difficult to see. Here's some Kenai fry in another tank that came from the 75. We've got some new Eureka Red Fry. We've got a mom in here. This tank, I just put a Pleco in there. That tank will probably be cleared up in the next couple of days. Here's some acei fry again from that 75 and Buna tank. They're growing up. And then we get into the 29 here, the Nannaluteus. These are cool fish. We recently redid this tank, and it's working out pretty well. There's about 9 or so in here. Love the gold colors and the blue eyes. We recently did a little update on this tank, and this is a great, great tank for us. This is the gold ocellatus, and we've gotten, you can see a little tiny little juvenile back there, and we've gotten some fry from this tank. Unfortunately, we got snails too, but I love this tank. I love these fish. They're for a small cichlid, they're super aggressive, but they're just so pretty. And you can see here we've got some fish that are kind of guarding with probably eggs. This is a tank in transition. These guppies are not going to be in this tank much longer. We're going to move some other fish into here. And then we got the 29 below with some angels. The Apistogramma mendezi are the other fish that you see. We've got a scarlet batis, some albino cory cats in here. There's actually some more Pygmy Sunfish. There's 2 or 3 of them in this tank, but they're really hard to see. so I don't think they're on camera. Right above them, we got a 20 long with some Bolivian Rams. We put some guppies in here just to kind of as a dither because the Rams are really, really shy. So they're out and about a little bit more, which is cool with the guppies in there now. So like that setup. This is a mess, but it's the way it's supposed to be. We've got a ton of red cherry shrimp in here. We've also got some long fin lemon drop Plecos that we're hoping that will start breeding. But this is what you want when you're breeding shrimp, and there's a lot of them in there. This is a 55 with some Geophagus tapajos. Love these fish. We love Geophagus in general. These are definitely a Geophagus that get a lot of nice color. That's a male on the right-hand side. The female is right next to him, and the other two are also males. This is a Eureka Red breeding tank of 55, where the Eureka Red Fry came from the male. The main male's underneath that structure, unfortunately, but really cool. Here's our 75. We got a red tail shark, the gold severum, the pearl gourami. We got Geophagus steindachneri female. We separated the male and the female. They were giving us too many babies, so we let them have a break, just kind of do their own thing. And then right above that, this is a tank that we're super excited about. This is Geophagus pellegrini. As these fish get bigger, they're going to be cool. We also got a couple of electric blue Jack Dempseys, but we're really excited about these Geophagus. They're going to get some really nice color. This is our 150-gallon community tank. Lots of different fish. We've got bala sharks, tinfoil barbs, gold severums, red shoulder severums, silver dollar. We've got our super awesome Geophagus cernamensis right there. There's a frontosa. Yep, it's an odd mix of fish, but it's working out just fine so far. So now we travel up into the kitchen. This is the fish bowl that Joanna got for Mother's Day with her betta. It's doing fine. It's looking good. You know, no complaints there. He seems to be happy. These are the boys' Spanish Rib Newts that are up in their room. Haven't shown these before. We've had them for close to a year. They're super cool. They're a relatively cool water aquatic newt. These things are awesome. It looks like the male on the right, and we've got a female on the bottom just by the size difference. So these are super cool. The boys are enjoying them. They eat just about everything we put in the tank, so they're easy to care for. This is Luke's 10-gallon. He's got some Pelvicochromis, subocellatus. They're kind of like a cribensis sort of fish. Probably going to move downstairs. He's got a male betta in here as well. So this is his tank next to his bed. And he's had this up and running for quite some time now. And then as we move along, this is our planted tank in our living room. It is strictly for plants. We've got a Phoenix 24/7 on there, and really the job of this tank is to grow lots and lots of plants, and that's what it does. Here we're back in Joanna's area upstairs, and she's got her 3.7-gallon nano tank. Right now it's got some Danios in there, got the plants going, and then her 5.5 gallons got some sparkling gouramis for the most part. There is a loach on the lower right-hand side, but that's kind of what we've got going on up here in the upstairs part, and altogether that brings us to, I believe, 56 tanks in total. Now I figured I'd go ahead and take you into reptile zone. I will let the boys talk about their reptiles that they've got and how they've been caring for them.
Okay, this is my leopard gecko in his 10-gallon tank, and we've had him for 8 months, and...
Are you going to take him out?
Sure.
Okay.
And I think he's a male, because his name is Beavis.
His name is Beavis?
Yeah.
You named your gecko Beavis?
Yeah. He really doesn't like to be held.
Doesn't like to be held? He's squirmy.
Yeah. Oh.
So, that's your dude?
Yeah. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
You don't have to hold him. Alright, so that's your gecko. Alright, what else we got? Alright, who we got here?
Okay, this is my ball python, and he is a male, and his name is Omelet, because whenever I go to pick him up, he's in the shape of an omelet.
Looks like he's shedding a little bit.
Yeah, he is. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have to mess down the tank more.
And he's fun to hold?
Yeah, I like holding him too. He's very fun. We've had him for about 6 months.
Cool.
And yeah.
Okay. So what else we got? The rest of the stuff is Luke's?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll get Luke in here. So what's this one?
This is my ball python.
And that one looks like it just got done shedding, huh? So that's what Eli's is going to look like in a little while. Very pretty. And that is a male or female?
Female.
Very cool.
Her name is Sunny.
Her name is Sunny.
And we've had her for about 6 months. She's really nice because she loves being held. She doesn't really move a lot.
Cool. All right, what else you got?
Well, we got my skink. This is a fire skink. We've had him for around 6 months. He loves to be held, very gentle. He eats very well.
How big's this thing gonna get?
He might get around a foot.
This thing's awesome. Look at the colors. Likes to burrow a lot?
Yes, loves to burrow.
Cool.
This is a corn snake. He is very corny. We've had him for around 6 months, and he eats pinky mice.
Thing's really cool looking.
Yes, he's very red. Okay, so this is my leopard gecko. We've had him for around 8 months, and he hates being held. And he eats mealworms.
And he's super cool. All right, everybody. So that was the full fish room tour. 56 tanks in about 13 minutes. Now, if you want to see more information about some of these fish, we have a much longer spring tour that we did, or if you want to hear more about certain fish, leave that in the comments section below, and we'll try to put something out in the not too distant future. So if you like this video, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.